You're on mute, Mayor Vieira.
Sorry. All right, we're just at 6 o'clock now, so let's go ahead and get started. Welcome to the City Council meeting for Monday, November 9th, 2020. Notice this meeting is held in accordance with Executive Order N29-20, issued by California Governor Gavin Newsom on March 17th, 2020, the Ralph M. Brown Act, California Government Code Section 54950, and the Federal Americans with Disabilities Act. All members of the public may participate and comment via the Zoom application. Meeting information website is https://zoom.us/join. Or you can join by phone at 669-900-8633. Remote public comment is also available for the City Council meeting by emailing the city clerk at cityclerk@ci.series.ca.us by 6 p.m. the date of the meeting, or via the phone application. I want to apologize in advance for some late technical issues that we've encountered. So the council is not meeting in the council chambers this evening. We've kind of gone back to the Zoom meeting. So this meeting will be held entirely via Zoom. As a result of this technical challenge that we've encountered, we will be postponing the recognition of Supervisor DeMartini. That will follow at our next council meeting, which will be on Monday, November 23rd. Equally, the two closed session items that we have will be continued to that meeting as well. So at this time, I would like to call the roll, please.
Councilmember Condit?
Here.
Councilmember Durasett?
Here.
Vice Mayor Rhino?
Here.
Councilmember Klein?
Here.
And Mayor Vieira?
Here. Thank you. Next, we'll move to the invocation by Tim Gianosa from Big Valley Grace, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance.
Thank you, Mayor. Now, I don't know if anybody else has video, but I can't see anything, so I apologize if I'm not in the screen or anything like that. But I do want to just share a quick passage from 2nd Chronicles. And this was Solomon as he was taking over the leadership of Israel. And the very first thing he did was to ask for wisdom. It says, "Give me the wisdom and knowledge to lead properly, for who could possibly govern this great people of yours?" And I just thank you for all that you guys have been doing, everybody on here, the way you've led our city, the way you're leading our city. And I know your job ahead of you is tremendous, and I know it'll take tremendous wisdom. So tonight, as I lead off with prayer, that's what I'll be praying for, is that you will have great wisdom as you lead our city, especially through this very turbulent time. So, Father, thank you for this great group of people. Thank you for what they have sacrificed, the way they serve this community, the way they serve one another, and the way they serve each family. Father, the decisions and choices they have ahead of them are tremendous. And each day they're faced with different tasks and different challenges in front of them. And Father, they need wisdom, wisdom beyond measure, wisdom that would go beyond their experience. And so many on this call are just have vast experience of leadership, and they're going to need even greater leadership than that. And so, Father, they would be able to put their own agendas and their own ambitions and their own desires to the side, and even those of their constituents. But Father, they would be guided and led by the great wisdom of all time. They would be guided and led by the wisdom that benefits this community in a tremendous way. And Lord, so just give them all the benefit and blessing that they're going to need to be able to take these matters and to lead so effectively as they have been and as they will need to. So we thank you for your grace and your mercy. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you, Tim. Okay. I pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. As mentioned, we are going to move the proclamation honoring Supervisor DeMartini to our next meeting. So we will move to citizens communication to council on matters not included on the agenda. While the City Council welcomes and encourages participation in City Council meetings, adopted rules allow no more than 5 minutes for expression of non-agenda items. Matters under the jurisdiction of the City Council and not on the posted agenda may be addressed by the general public. However, California law prohibits the City Council from taking action on any matter which is not on the posted agenda unless it is determined to be an emergency by the City Council. Citizens are entitled to address the City Council on any agenda items subject to the 5-minute provision. At this time, is there anyone in the audience that would like to address the council on a non-agenda item? If so, please raise your hand. I know that Mr. Brandt's hand has been raised since the start, so I don't know if that was a desire to speak or if it was just something that he had up by mistake.
We have Lee ready. Lee, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Okay, I would just like to make a couple of statements. One is in regards to the election. Generally, all I can say is, wow. I was blown away by the results overall, and I'm going to leave it at that. And I will congratulate Chance on his moving up. I will also say good luck to Linda. I wanted to wait until she swallowed her soda. I have a real hard time. I can barely see Mr. Padilla. All I can see is the top. Oh, there he is. Okay. And I also wanted to point out that I didn't get a chance to talk about it last meeting, but the Walmart being done or in the process, I drove by there today and I saw a construction trailer. So it only took 13 and a half years to get that trailer to sit there. And it's a beginning. I wish every one of you good luck in the future. I'm still going to come back. I'll be back for the next meeting. And just God bless every one of you. And that's it.
Okay, Mr. Yakely.
Yes, good evening. I got a couple of things. One of them was, I want to thank everybody too. And a lot of us didn't agree to agree at many times. And there was some outbursts from some people that thought I was picking on them, but I really wasn't. You guys done a good job. And just like Lee Brandt said, it's, wow, it's something else. It's like, if you go back in the 60s, it was probably a bad trip. I mean, it just came all up on us, just like the national election. So, but I want to thank everybody. I've kind of got to know a few people a little bit better than others, but I won't forget them. I just hope that, you take a rest for as long as you want, but once in a while, maybe we see or hear from you and your good input on the city from an outside view. Another thing tonight is I'd like to remind everybody that's watching too, and besides the people there and some of the veterans, and it means a lot to be recognized at Veterans Day just as well as it is Memorial Day. They're almost, to me, parallel because of being in a war zone. So I don't separate those two. They're very meaningful for me and some of the veterans out there. And, if somebody could just thank somebody, we should thank them every day. But if you see somebody, a neighbor or something, not just on the council, but your neighbors and stuff like that, I hope they are listening out there and thank their neighbors or their friends or whatever for their service. On the construction at the Walmart, like Lee, I saw that today. And wow, that's really neat. But I think this is probably addressed to Tom Westbrook more so on the service road conditions as far as what's going to happen now when they get a little bit moved in on construction part of the Walmart and how that's going to affect the interchange there on the service side going west over the freeway and everything. How's that going to happen, Tom?
Nothing will change at this point, Mr. Yeakley. Everything stays just the same.
are there going to be backups and, you know, closure of the road at all?
There shouldn't, for the construction of the Walmart building, there should be very little impact to the service road corridor.
Okay. So the last one tonight kind of addresses a problem that you know, most of you guys know that I have, and besides the garbage and some other issues, is the noise issue in the city. And some people are blessed. They've told me, as I talk to people in different parts of the city, grocery stores, post office, that they live in nice neighborhoods, which they probably consider the streets, so many around them, as being peaceful and no issues. But again, there's many of us in the city that aren't blessed with that type of neighborhood. And we continue to have these huge parties with PA systems. And if you know what a PA system is, you know, it can transmit sound very far, you know, and it usually has, like water, it travels with the least resistance, it travels very far. So I still have a problem with that in my neighborhood. And I talked to Captain Crane today. He was gracious enough to call me this morning on this particular topic. And in the past, I understood that the citation process would be $250 for the first offense after the initial, you know, come by the first time, tell them, you know, take it easy and whatever. They come back and still doing the same thing. He told me it was $250. Well, I don't remember that going through the process of redoing the code or anything, but I do. There was a quoted me or quoted Lieutenant Perry. I think it was about a year and a half ago in the Sirius Courier, and I remember this. It was on the not Zoom, but it was on the regular thing you get on YouTube for the council meetings, and it says, Sirius Police Lieutenant Perry was asked to explain protocol. He said his officers try to give warnings before citing unless they habitually play loud music. Police can cite criminally for loud music under Penal Code 415E, which I knew about that, but there has to be a victim. Most people only want the noise abated, not to be dragged into the court system to testify, he said. Most people don't want to go that far, he said, Lieutenant Perry. Police may also give $250 administrative citations to avoid court while punishing the problem resident. Those citations are usually given in an officer, if an officer asks.
Yeah, I would ask you to finish up your comments. You've gone over the 5 minutes if you could, please.
Okay, but anyway, my point is originally towards you guys, you were there at that time, the city council, it was $250 for the first citation, and the second one was $500, and the third one was $1,000. I didn't see that on the construction of the I probably would have said something about it then, when they restructured the code. I don't know how long it's been on there like that, but I told Captain Crane that this is what I was told many times over, that was $250 at first. I think we need to go back, put this on some kind of agenda to talk about it, to try to raise it, because these people are still doing these things. We need a deterrent that's more than $100. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Warren.
Good evening, council. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Congratulations to those of you on our recent election. And thank you for the service of those of you that will no longer be on the council in the near future. I would like to revisit two items that I feel are a concern to the citizens of our community. First of all, is the garbage can toter code that we went through an extensive reevaluation of this past year. In light of 11,000 more garbage cans coming to this city, I really feel that the council needs to revisit this particular subject. This past weekend, I took some time to send some questions and information, and this morning some pictures to the members of the council. Hopefully you've had a chance to maybe look at these things and consider the questions that I have asked. The other item that I would like to hopefully bring to your attention is most recently, after the 4th of July weekend this past year, everyone returned home from their hiatus because of the commotion that our city experiences during the 4th of July holidays. And everyone on the council was quite disturbed as to what had taken place in our community. And there was great discussion as to what we should do in the future regarding to sales of fireworks, disallowing the use of them in the city, and quite possibly not allowing that to happen in the future, or something in between. I would hope that our city would be a leader. We were a leader in the cannabis situation. We need to be a leader in this fireworks situation. So please bring this up in the near future. Maybe discuss it before this council disassembles and the new council starts at the beginning of the year. These are a couple of things that this council is very, very aware of, and I think has a lot of insight in how to manage the situation going forward. Thank you for your service. Tom, congratulations on the new construction at Walmart and getting that through over the past 13 years. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you. Looks like we have one more speaker. Is it Yaz, I believe?
Yes, it's Yaz. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yes, we can.
Okay, awesome. So first of all, I wanted to thank everybody for their service, serving in the city council, all members that are not coming back. We really appreciate your service. Yeah, just wanted to thank you. I wasn't going to speak, but the two gentlemen that spoke earlier were really surprised about the elections because they mentioned it and were really taken back. Going forward, I wanted to mention that 60% of Hispanics live in Ceres, and there was a lack of representation here. So going forward, I hope that you guys take us into consideration and reach out to our community here and really find out what our needs are, because there has been a lack of our voice in city council. And going forward, now you guys know that election season, if our vote and our voice and our votes really count and make a difference. So going forward, I urge every member to reach out to the Hispanic community here and make city council inclusive, especially because there's a lack of representation here today, as I'm seeing. So that's all.
Okay. All right. Seeing no other attendees, I will ask the city clerk, do you have any one on the phone or any emails?
No, I don't think so, Mayor.
Okay. All right, well, that we will move on to appointments to boards and commissions. There's one item, Measure H Oversight Committee and Planning Commission vacancies. Mr. Westbrook.
Yeah, so we had delayed the Measure H appointments. There were a couple of applications, one of them being somebody who was in the race for city council. In addition to that, there are some vacancies now as a result of the election process itself. And so there was 2 planning commission vacancies from commission members. Those gentlemen are interested in reapplying for a process, but there's also a vacancy that will be created by Commissioner Salvera's election to the city council. So just wanted to get the concurrence from the council that we would start the application processes for those. Most likely, probably would bring those back to the city council meeting in probably the soonest would be December for perhaps Measure H appointments, but there may need to be, depending upon the applications, maybe some interviews by probably 2 council members for the actual planning commission vacancy. So that may not happen between now and December, but just wanted to get the concurrence of the council to start those application processes.
Well, so you're just looking for direction on this. I mean, I think that I would suggest, yes, that you move forward with that. Obviously, there's only one of the council members that of this body of 5 that's still going to be around. So it won't be back to us in time to make a decision. So I don't see any process or any issue with starting that process. So unless a council member would prefer not to start that process, my recommendation is that you move forward with that and then bring it to the new council.
Will do. Thank you.
Okay. Conflict of interest declaration. Is there anyone on the council that would like to declare a conflict of interest on the 10 consent calendar items or 1 new business item? All right. Hearing none, we will move to the consent calendar. All matters listed on the consent calendar are considered routine in nature and will be enacted by a single motion unless otherwise requested by an individual council member or the public for special consideration. Otherwise, recommendation of staff will be accepted and acted upon by roll call vote. At this time, is there anyone in the council that would like a consent calendar item pulled for further discussion?
Yes, 5A and 7.
Okay. All right, is there anyone in the audience that would like an item pulled other than 5A and 7? If so, please raise your hand. Okay, seeing none, I'll bring it back to the council for direction of the other items.
Move to accept consent calendar items 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 8, 9, and 10.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Can we have the roll call vote, please?
Councilmember Condit?
Aye.
Councilmember Durasett?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Rhino?
Yes.
Councilmember Klein?
Yes.
And Mayor Vieira?
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0.
Okay, item 5A, general correspondence, recreation monthly report. Councilmember Klein.
You know, I understand that the trunk or treat was a success at Central Valley High School and it was well received. But I do have one question for the recreation director is all the signs that were peppered around the city, there's a couple at Smyrna Park and lawn signs and Save Mart Shopping Center. Who's responsible for picking all those up?
My department staff is, and I do apologize. A few of us have been out sick or out of town, so we'll get those out tomorrow. I do apologize.
That's fine. I just wanted to know if you were Central Valley High School. That's the only question I had, Mayor.
Okay, so I'll look for a motion on that item.
I'll move to adopt 5A.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Can we have the roll call vote, please?
Councilmember Condit?
Aye.
Councilmember Durasett?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Rhino?
Yes.
Councilmember Klein?
Yes.
And Mayor Vieira?
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0.
Thank you. Item number 7, resolution number 2020-114, authorizing the city manager to enter into a lease renewal agreement with AT&T and BLVCK Dot Consultants for the cell tower located at Smyrna Park. Councilmember Klein.
You know, Tom, you know, we've been going back and forth all day on this, and I just have one question. There's 2 other providers that are on that cell tower. When are their contracts up? That's the only question I forgot to ask you.
Off the top of my head, I want to say the one nearest the third baseline, I think they're in about year 14 of a 30-year contract. The other one, I think, has about another 10 years left on their contract.
That's the only question I had, Mayor. Thank you.
Okay, are there any other questions from the council? If not, I'll look for direction on this item.
I'll move to adopt item 7.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Can we have the roll call vote, please?
Councilmember Condit?
Aye.
Councilmember Durasett?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Rhino,
Yes.
Councilmember Klein,
Yes.
and Mayor Vieira.
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0.
Thank you. We have no unfinished business, no public hearing. One new business item, which was continued from October 26th of 2020, approving the formation of an ad hoc committee for the purpose of officially naming Eastgate Park. In light of there being only one council member of the 5 that will be moving on, it would be my recommendation that we continue this yet again until the new council can be seated, because we can't put 2 council members on there when we only have 1 that's remaining. So I guess, Tom, is that something that we would need a motion and a second on to continue?
Yes, and in this one you could just do it to well, let's see here. Let's think about that. We'll probably,
I think the first meeting in December, the December 14th meeting, the new council will be seated the first week of December. So there should be opportunity to create the formation of the committee at their first meeting on December 14th.
There you go.
Can I make a comment on this?
Yes.
You know, the only thing comment or that I would like to have consider it, at least be noted for the new council that's taken effect, that since, you know, it's in a certain council district, that I'd like to be noted that council member should be on the ad hoc committee.
Okay.
Or at least be recommended for the ad hoc committee.
Sure.
That's the only comment I make.
Okay. All right. At this time, I'll open it up for anyone in the public that would like to comment on this item. If so, raise your hand. Okay, seeing none, I'll look for direction from the council on this.
I'd make the motion to move this to December 14th to establish ad hoc committee.
Okay.
I'll second.
Okay, thank you. We have a motion, a second. Can we have the roll call vote, please?
Councilmember Condit,
Aye.
Councilmember Durasett,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Rhino,
Yes.
Councilmember Klein,
Yes.
and Mayor Vieira.
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0.
Okay, Mr. Westbrook, are there any discussion items?
No, Mayor Vieira, there's no discussion items.
Okay, we'll move to council member referrals. Is there anyone on the council that would like to have an item placed on the next agenda? Okay, hearing none, we will move to reports. I have nothing to report. Councilmember Klein?
I have nothing.
Vice Mayor Rhino?
Yes. On Saturday, I attended the community meetings that the recreation staff held at Don Pedro Park, which is on Don Pedro, and also at Independence Park, which is just east of Richland, south of Costless Market. There were a few community members that attended, but I really wanted to thank Mr. Lohr for a great job of presentation, as well as Mr. Westbrook, who attended and picked up trash in the meantime. So it was the weather was crummy, and it was just nice to see that a few people in each neighborhood did show up to say what they would like to see.
Thank you. Councilmember Condit?
Nothing to report tonight.
Okay, Councilmember Durasett?
There you go. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can.
All right. Hey, I got a couple things just to kind of say, and then on November 23rd, the last meeting that I'd be part of, I will not be able to be in attendance. The wife and I are doing a community project where we're feeding 500 families turkey dinners, and I'm going to be jumping in with that. A couple people I'd like to thank, obviously the council, this council right here, as I think have been stellar. We've done a lot of good things for this community, and I know, Linda, you'll continue, and I know, Chance, you'll be going in your direction, doing stuff for the county. And I wish you all well. I also want to thank all the other council members I had a chance to serve with, because there was quite a few of them being on the council for the last 13 years. I want to talk about public safety. Both you guys are gems. Appreciate you, Chief Collins, Chief Wise. Tom Westbrook, you got probably some of the best staff around any city, all 9 cities that we are gathered around. And then I think the very end of it, you know, being a council member for 13 years is being gone an awful lot, especially if you're involved in the League of Cities and stuff. And I want to thank my family and my kids. So I'm not going anywhere. I'm still going to be around. Might get back into coaching again. Who knows? Thank you.
Thank you. I will move to the staff. Letitia, anything?
I have nothing tonight.
Tom Hallahan?
Nothing to report, Mayor.
Tom Westbrook?
Just a reminder that City Hall will be closed this Wednesday for Veterans Day. Also, Mayor Vieira, Steve Hallam has joined us this evening, has a little bit of an update he'd like to share too when we get to him.
Perfect. Okay, Daniel?
I have nothing. Thank you.
Collins?
Nothing to report, just a comment for Councilmember DeRosset. It's been an honor and a pleasure, sir.
Okay, Captain Crane?
Nothing, Mayor.
Okay, Chief Wise?
I'd just like to reiterate the comments made by Chief Collins. Thank you, Councilmember DeRosset, for your support, and I wish you the best in the future.
Okay, Jeremy?
Nothing, Mayor.
Matt?
Yeah, I just wanted to thank all the volunteers and that came out to Trunk or Treat and our city manager for being out there. We had over 1,000 cars come through. We gave out 2,250 candy bags. And I'm going to tell you, very excited people, very happy the city was doing that, valued our services. And next, I want to thank Councilmember Rhino and Tom Westbrook, our city manager. As we're applying for these grants to redo some parks in our community, Don Pedro and Independence Park, they were amazing. And they set a tone that a lot of residents that did attend, there was a few, said, hey, how do I pick up trash if the city manager or the city council member will do that? So next meeting, I'll be sharing with you a way for residents to volunteer. Right now, with everything going on, we can meet you out the park on a weekday and pick up trash. So Councilmember Rhino and I will work on putting something together, more me, and I will get that out to the council and out to the community that you can go and volunteer at your park with the goal of building our Adopt a Park program. So it's a new way. Councilmember Rhino and I chatted about tonight. We think it's great. Our city manager bought in. So great way to get people to invest in our parks and invest in Ceres. So I look forward to that. And Councilmember DeRosset, it's been a pleasure. You've always been supportive. You've always motivated me to make Ceres Parks and Recreation better and greater. So thank you for your service. Very much appreciated.
Okay, Steve.
Oh.
We can't hear you, Steve.
Yeah, Steve, we can't hear you. You're not muted. Now you're, yeah, there you go. Can't hear you. Is it your earphones, perhaps? Because you're unmuted. We still can't hear you.
Huh. There he is.
Yay.
There he is.
Steve.
Now I'm on?
Yep.
Yes, we can hear you now.
Okay. Back in August, Tom and I began looking at ways to help the Ceres businesses, but particularly the Ceres downtown businesses, because they've been really hurt by the COVID restrictions. And I asked Tom if I could take a minute tonight and talk about the RAD card that we began to unfold last week. But this week we'll have a major launch, and it's going to be, I think, something very beneficial to our downtown merchants. But it's a tad confusing, so I wanted to walk through what the RAD card is all about. It's essentially a gift card program that's been implemented to offer small business relief to downtown merchants. And this is a group of businesses that, like we said, they've been particularly hit hard by the COVID-19 restrictions. RAD stands for Relief Across Downtown. It's a gift card program that's been implemented to offer small business relief to merchants. It's a mobile phone app that can be used at multiple qualifying business locations throughout our county. A consumer like you or me can purchase a virtual RAD card in denominations of $25, $50, $75, or $100. Upon purchase through the RAD app, the value of the card is automatically doubled dollar for dollar, allowing up to a $200 spending limit for each consumer. The source of this added value comes from Federal CARE Act funds that were allocated to us in Stanislaus County. And I'm really excited to say that Ceres has been allocated $100,000 in these grant funds to specifically implement this RAD program for Ceres downtown businesses. After you make your RAD card purchase on your cell phone, mobile phone, tablet, the app sends you a unique and scannable QR code that can be used at your choice of participating downtown businesses in Ceres. When the customer makes any purchase, the restaurant, the retailer, the personal service provider simply scans the customer's unique QR code, enters the amount of purchase, and uploads a picture of the receipt. The applicable funds from the RAD card are encumbered, and within 7 days, that downtown merchant has funds dispersed to them in the full amount. So there are two things now that I encourage Ceres residents to do. First, if you're a consumer, download the RAD card app on an Apple or Android device. Register your account, purchase a specific denomination of funds, as I mentioned, $25, $50, $75 to $100. And the app will automatically double in value dollar for dollar with the source of that federal grant funds. Second, if you know a downtown merchant that you would like to patronize and use this RAD card, ask if they participate in the program yet, and if not, encourage them to do so. We have 37 downtown businesses that we've been in contact with, encouraging them to sign up for the program, and we continue to add qualifying downtown merchants on a daily basis. So it's a great program for our city, a lot of funds to help the downtown business, and I thank you for your time.
Thank you, Steve. That sounds like a great program. And if anyone has any questions and weren't able to get all that information, I would encourage you to reach out to the city or the city clerk, and we'll make sure that we get that information to you or get you in the right direction. So again, thank you, Steve, for that. I don't know if Supervisor DeMartini is on the line. I didn't see him on there, but I did want to see if Letitia, if he's on or not.
Doesn't appear to be on.
Okay.
No.
Okay. Oh, I hope I haven't missed anyone. With that, we will move on. As mentioned, the two closed session items, as a result of our technical challenges, we're not able to have an offsite closed session, so we will continue those items. So now at this point, we will move to adjournment, which will be till our next regular scheduled meeting, which will be Monday, November 23rd, 2020 at 6 p.m. So again, I want to thank everyone for coming out or listening in this evening, and I hope everyone has a good evening. Thank you.
Thank you.